Welcome to Initial Reaction. I'm Charles, and filling in for Philip this week is...
I'm Danner.
What? What'd you think?
Man, there was so many more aliens this time around.
Yeah, there's a lot of aliens. There's so many aliens, I'm surprised Trump didn't build a wall around our theater.
I spent 20 years trying to get us ready for this. They're coming back. They were hunting us. We had to learn how to hunt them. We used their technology to strengthen our planet. But it won't be enough.
Welcome to Initial Reaction. Like I said, my name is Charles.
I'm Danner.
He's filling in for Philip this week, and we just watched Independence Day Resurgence. What'd you think?
Well, 20 years went by, and it seems to have gone by in a lot of things. The acting, choices, humor. We've lost 20 years in a lot of direction here.
Yeah, so the same director came back and did the same thing that he basically did 20 years ago. I brought most of the cast back and brought a whole another set of cast with him.
Yeah, and speaking of cast, hey, we have to let Will Smith go for whatever reason. He didn't want to be in the movie, and we have some viral marketing that he died in a plane crash, and then we see a picture of him, and that's all that we're left with.
It's not even like pictures that they recreated. It's like screen caps from the last movie that were made into posters.
It reminded me, they didn't make it into posters. It's like those blankets, the little throws you buy with your family pictures at Walmart. That's what it looked like.
Right, like somebody paid $25 for that. I thought, I almost expected, I can't believe they brought that scientist guy back. I don't even remember the actor's name, but I'm just like, what?
You can say that a lot about this movie, and especially with the scientists. I feel like they didn't have a lot of direction on what they wanted to do. Is we have a really good idea. People really liked the first one. There was some magic. There was some charm with it. 20 years have gone by. My mortgage payment's up. I need it. So let's make another movie. And
I felt like everyone signed a contract saying like, oh, you can be in the sequel. And be like, there's not going to be a sequel. And then 20 years later, like, we're making a sequel. And that scientist guy was like, remember what you said? You remember. I get to be in this one. And Will Smith's like, nah, thanks.
It just, to your point, it just, and I really am trying to find something positive here. The visual effects were really good, but everything else, it seemed very forced. Right. The humor especially. You've got this movie that should be sci-fi, it should be over the top, and we're throwing in cheesy punchlines.
Yeah, like run-of-the-mill, if this sequel would have come out a year or two later after, it would have been perfect. But so much stuff has happened cinematically since 1996. Yeah. I remember I was reading an article about 10 Cloverfield Lane, and he said, J.J. Abrams was like, we needed to make sure that we told a different story because there was Godzilla and all this stuff, and that we don't need to tell another huge monster movie. We mean to make something different and tie it into this world. And I feel like they had the opportunity to do that here, yeah. And they went the opposite direction. They
did exactly what they did before,
right? And just kind of copy and pasted, and tried to give it the same charm, but with the same dated themes and ideas.
Yeah. And speaking of charm, some really positives here. I think Liam Hemsworth there's something that his older brother Chris has kind of that action star down. Liam, there's some kind of charm about him, and right. I did enjoy that. I did enjoy Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. He wasn't acting a part. He was being Jeff Goldblum. He's really good at that, and it's enjoyable to watch. And so you've got two things there.
You could write his lines as like a British posh guy, and he would still spit them out in a Jeff Goldblum syntax, like just his own language and his own delivery. And it's enjoyable.
Yeah, and it works. And those were two things. Along with the visual effects, you've got three things there. I mean, it's a summer blockbuster. There's a lot of blowing up. You destroy London. I think right now movies are big budgeted movies, are especially in this epidemic now of releasing way too much in the trailers.
Right.
And we did it here. I mean, it was all the they want the landmarks, or they always go for the landmarks. A really good line if you didn't know it was coming, but it was in the first trailer.
Right. And even us growing up and having we're pretty far into adulthood, the beginning of adulthood and stuff, and like for 20 years, even for us, we were kids, and it's just like, you know what I mean? Like who's this appealing to? Like the people
Right.
that it's marketed to don't even remember what was so special about the first one. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, where is your direction?
Yeah.
What are the rest of us supposed to get out of it?
And I told you, I before Charles and I started the movie, I said this was the first movie that I remember, like my mom dropping me off and going to get to see with my friends for the first time, and it was really magical. I remember the marketing, ID4. Everybody, you know, our age generation remembers that, and here it just, I think maybe I'm a victim of getting my hopes up too much. I don't know.
Even during pre-production, when they were like cycling through the different secondary names or subtitle names like Resurgence and Revolution and all that stuff.
Revelation, Armageddon.
Yeah, yeah, just like
What hasn't Michael Bay used that we can use?
right, exactly. And these lens flares for one. But no, I wanted to just turn my brain off and enjoy it. But even like some of the one-liners and stuff, and then Bill Pullman trying to make a secondary like get up and at 'em speech. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my gosh, like no, let that, you know, play the first speech again or something.
Which they did.
Yeah, like right, yeah, at the beginning when it didn't matter. Like I can't get patriotic now. I'm still reading credits, you know. So yeah, so initial reaction.
Lackluster. Really, I shouldn't say it, but I was let down. How about
Yeah.
you?
I mean, yeah, expectation versus reality for sure. Did not know, you know, like we said, it held a special place in our heart, and it destroyed that place.
Yeah.
With laser guns. So anyway, star rating.
Star rating, I'll go 1.5. I don't want to go 1. I say that for The Mist, and that's for you, Philip. But 1.5 for sure.
Yeah, I'm going 2 because I didn't absolutely hate it, and I found some joy out of the laughter in it. So
You did laugh a lot.
2, yeah, I did. Like the parts that they weren't supposed to laugh at. But anyway, so that's it for this week. Subscribe and like our YouTube channel, Initial Reaction Reviews. You can follow Philip's stuff on his stuff. I don't even know what he says.
He's got a website, I think.
He's got a website. Starts with www, ends with .com. You can figure out the rest. Have a good week, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Independence Day Resurgence in theaters and IMAX 3D.
Oh my gosh.
You can't tell me that that's not funny.
Oh, my finger hurts.